Record to the cloud. Oh yeah, here we are. Tour date time. Andrew, you got anything?
New Year's Eve streaming show with Christopher Titus. If you go to combustionfilms.com or follow Christopher Titus on any social media, you can get tickets to watch that show. I'll be hosting for Christopher Titus and Rachel Bradley.
That's really exciting. You're gonna be like live in studio slash garage slash.
Yeah, they've
That's
built a
exciting.
little room, I guess, and they're supposed to have maybe 10 people that are tested, maybe. I
Oh,
don't know, but I assume so. So
great. And
we'll
then
see what happens.
virtual.
Yes, and then the
Cool.
rest of it. So I think there will be laughter to pace yourself, at least, But I started at giggles, so 10 people is a great audience for me.
Exactly. Ken's here. Ken Hamlett is here. Ken, welcome. Do you have any tour dates coming up that are notable, or anything you want to promote?
Yeah. February 12th weekend, I'll be out in Austin and San Antonio. And then the rest of everything else is dead forever, I think. I think that's
We all have to move to Texas. Is the answer?
Nashville.
I guess.
Yeah.
Nashville. I don't want to
Nashville's
bomb in
popping off.
Nashville. I'm
Lovely.
still doing my virtual show that was local before in my hometown. So Everett Comedy Night is going to be on January 10th. Man, Ken, I should have you do it. We'll talk after the episode about that. And every second
Don't you want to
Sunday-
book someone that's funny, though?
Yeah. Well, I just want to book someone who has good audio.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Honestly, and a good backdrop. And so far, so good with Ken. So we're excited to have you on the show. Here come the jokes after a 3-second pause. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Homeschool, episode 23, the Michael Jordan episode. Also, the last episode of 2020. You know what? We hope we made your year better.
That's a super low bar. Hey, congrats.
just
you didn't,
better.
Yeah, you didn't shit your pants. This is the best day ever.
Not good, not great, just better.
Exactly. It's not hard. The world is on fire, but hey, at least we got these shit jokes.
Yeah, well, it is frustrating writing jokes without anywhere to perform them, because jokes are like boners. They can happen for any reason at any time, and you just got to hope you can remember it later when you need it.
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of assistance from some drugs. Also, mine usually come while I'm alone in the shower, so...
That's where I come the most too. But hey, if you thought this podcast would take a break for Christmas, me too. But here we are, back with more jokes every week until the apocalypse.
By the way, this apocalypse is taking forever. Can we hurry this up?
Speed it up. I don't want to write any more jokes. Well, 'tis the season. Merry Christmas, Corey. Did you have a good holiday?
Yeah, actually, no, because Christmas was canceled. Clearly, the coronavirus was created. Just those anti-Christian libtards could get what they've wanted for years.
Well, I celebrated, and I even got you a Christmas present, but it might take a few weeks to arrive because shipping is it's coming from overseas.
Oh, what? That's sweet of you. What is it?
It's a new strain of coronavirus.
Holy shit. You shouldn't have. Like, literally, why did you? Also, let's call it where it came from, the Great Britain virus, huh? Those limey bastards.
Yeah. I'm sure Trump has suspended travel from the UK. I mean, after all, he loves taking credit for shutting down travel from China 6 weeks later than he should have. But
he actually just signed an executive order to bring back the Concorde jet. So, yeah.
We need more corona faster. We need it here sooner.
Actually, the truth is, I celebrated Christmas virtually this year.
Do you have like a Zoom with your family?
Oh, no. I watched a cam girl pour eggnog all over her body while she used a candy cane dildo.
You could have just said yes.
Oh, I guess so. Yes, my
Does
family.
she send it to you if you tip?
You traveled to LA again against orders, by the way, to be with your family. How was your Christmas?
Well, yeah, of course. I went to see my family. It's the first time everyone is unemployed at the same time. We're not
Oh,
allowed to
right.
visit. Fuck that.
Yeah, yeah. So you're kind of turning into a bit of a family man, I see. Do you want to have kids now?
You know, being around them, especially at Christmas, really helped me discover things I didn't know were important. And for me, it's silence.
Yeah, duh. That's why all the Christmas carols are about silent nights. Ken knows what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. My kid is
That's what-
bound in the garage right now.
Yeah, that's what parents used to wish for before Santa invented the goddamn PlayStation.
That's what I look for in a president. Can't wait till we have a silent president.
Right. Silent president. Holy president. Like literally crawl in a hole somewhere, could you?
Shallow grave. Doesn't have the same ring to it. But
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
speaking of silent president, how come he hasn't tweeted about the Nashville bombing yet?
Well, obviously, he's just waiting to find out if that person voted for him or not. You know, if he
Yeah,
finds
makes
out that he
sense.
did, he's going to praise him.
He knocked out the 5G. Give him a break. Trump's on vacation. He can't get to
Yeah.
his phone all the time. You know.
Well, you got to use that paid time off while you can, right before the end of the year. You know, it's not a good look, really. 330,000 people are dead. Hospitals are full, and unemployment benefits are expiring. That's like the Jets head coach taking time off in the middle of the season, right? It's like, dude, you're gonna be unemployed in 2 weeks.
It's really bad. We need a superhero to save us, and I know just the lady. The new Wonder Woman came out on Christmas Day. Did you watch it?
Yeah. I noticed a lot of dudes hating on it. I wonder, woman, why? I honestly,
Yeah.
I didn't see the first one, so I didn't really understand how to hate the sequel. I don't know
No,
what to
yeah.
do.
Did you get a little corona in your throat there? Well, the movie was kind of long. It's about 2.5 hours. But the good news is it felt like 3.
I'd watch Gal Gadot for 2.5 straight hours. That's not true. At least 30.
Okay. Speaking of dragging on, why isn't coronavirus going away after the election? I thought that's what the plan was.
Right? Well, maybe they meant once all the votes are like certified.
Maybe they meant 2024 election.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I hope I just get this vaccine soon. I mean, this shit's getting really terrible.
Why are you worried about the microchip in the vaccine tracking your movement?
Oh, sorry. I missed that. I was just checking into this restaurant on Foursquare.
Okay. You're not supposed to eat indoors, Corey. You know this. But hey, well, if you want the vaccine sooner, you could just move to Texas because Texas decided to ignore the CDC recommendations and they're going to vaccinate old people like you first instead of essential employees like healthcare workers and police officers.
Well, the police already have those face shields, and with how often they're shooting people these days, they're probably staying 6 feet away from anybody, right? I guess it makes sense. Old people are the most vulnerable. The 23-year-old essential worker at Taco Bell doesn't need the vaccine first, right?
Yeah, but I mean, how many people is your Nana coming in close contact with?
That's a good point. Not a lot right now. She's just been doing her candy cane dildo show on Zoom. So
That's good. Keeping it safe. Yeah, she's a real stickler for safety.
stickler. That's what she puts
Stickler.
inside of her. Stickler. I didn't know her.
That's what happens when when the candy cane gets worn down.
Stuck.
How much do we have to tip to get that candy cane? That's all I want to know. Still,
How many licks does it get to the center of the?
Great
she's
reference.
Speaking of horny old fuckers, Trump has threatened to veto the stimulus bill because the checks are only $600. Instead, he's demanding $2,000. Is $2,000 too much money, you think?
Nah, I think we should get $1 for every day we've been forced to lock down.
Yeah. Well, wait. That's only like $300.
Well, it's felt like 2,000.
It sure has.
still
have
less
you-
than what he paid for those massages from those kids, though. So.
And his fucking his toupee and I mean, there's
I
all
need a-
sorts of random
Me
shit
and-
in this bill. Did you look into it, Corey?
Oh, I didn't read it. Neither has anybody in Congress, right? It's like 5,000 pages. And they're trying to jam all this random stuff through.
Yeah,
that
right.
before.
I was jamming all that random stuff in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
hate it. That's your grandma wrote the bill. All right. Right. There's like $25 million for gender programs in Pakistan, $500 million to Israel, and $2.5 million just to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh wow, $25 million in Pakistan for gender programs. There's only like one gender that matters, right? Okay, a couple $1,000,000 to count all the fish in the Gulf of Mexico seems like a hell of a deal or a price, right?
Yeah.
Like for the size of that operation, this guy must have read The Art of the Deal.
Yeah. The Pope's Instagram account has been liking racy photos of hot Instagram models. He's been in real trouble now.
Yeah, his wife is gonna be really mad.
For sure. But hey, at least he's not liking photos of adolescent boys. I'd say this is a positive scandal, step in the right direction. Maybe Crystalia can be the new pope, whenever that comes around.
Jesus.
I don't know why that.
Nah, he's just doing shows in Texas next week.
Is he?
No, I don't know. I'm
Okay.
sure he'd be allowed to. Speaking of steps in the right direction, last week TV personality Rush Limbaugh had his last day on air due to lung cancer. Also, it will soon be his last day of air due to lung cancer. Doctors found a cancerous growth on his lung, and it turned out just to be the rest of his body and personality.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, shout out to this week's sponsor, Cancer. Actually, shout out to this week's sponsor, Cory's Nana. With all the profits from her Zoom show, we were able to buy this podcast equipment. So, shout out to Dorothy.
Boom on Zoom.
Boom on Zoom. I like it.
Man. Well, hey, there are the jokes. Ken, Dale, what's the Dale? It's just your middle name, or what's?
That's my first name is Kendall. Nobody calls me Kendall.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks for putting my government name out there, dude. Thank you.
Hey, man.
I'll give your address and your phone number, and your social security number is 534-98-4317.
Yeah, I mean, it's real hard to find all that information on Instagram and Foursquare and Facebook and MySpace and Tinder and Ashley Madison and.
Yeah, it's funny. Someone said to me recently, like, because I took a photo of my, two photos. One was of me voting, and it had my signature and I think my address on it, and then the other was my license, and I didn't block out stuff. And they're like, all these people, I can't believe you put that up. And I was like, we literally used to put our addresses and phone numbers on people's doorsteps, like every 3 months. We were like, hey, here you go. You can just find anybody you want. Like,
here's the phone book. Yeah.
So I'm
go ahead and steal my identity. It's not working well for me. So
exactly. I was
hoping to change it anyway,
See see what you can
do. And then when I
this.
call fraud, I can call all my stuff that I actually did with my credit and get that canceled too.
Chipotle. He went to Chipotle every single day. That guy is crazy.
It sounds like BS. Yeah.
Don't check the security footage, but yeah.
Anyway, Ken is here with us. Excited. You're where are you at right now, physically, in the world?
Chicago,
Yes.
the greatest second city in the world is what they say. I think. I don't know how they.
That
What
is
they
funny.
say about Chicago.
Second city.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago's cool. Yeah. You know the place that closed during the pandemic. So.
I mean, that's every city, to be honest.
Except for to shootings. They're wide open to shootings.
Yeah, we are killing in that number one export, actually.
I've never thought about that.
Could you stop exporting? We're cool with it out here.
Yeah, can you keep it to yourselves? I've never thought about that. The improv group was called Second City, so that's just to New York, right? I guess.
Can't believe they named it after the improv group. It's crazy.
You guys just think you're not as good as you're just like admitting, hey, we're not as good as New York, but we're pretty good. Is that the deal?
For sure. Yeah, like nobody. I mean, people think that it's as is New York, but like it's Chicago. It's like baby New York. Even though it was like bigger than New York at a time, but like we just, it did Chicago Midwest stuff, and they were like, this is good enough. I'm cool with this. I don't have to for more.
Had the tallest building in the world for a while. I think Chicago's amazing. Chicago's like, I've always said it to be like a super clean New York.
Yeah, that was like the big reason why I moved here. It was like the clean option. But it's not New York.
How about that weather? I mean, I know people talk about that's like I can't handle the cold.
It's not. I don't know. For me, I just kind of got used to it. The cold never bothered me. I'm like super hot all the time, anyways.
And doesn't leave the house.
And that's like
what's happening.
I've always said you're super hot all the time. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and I'm like always drunk, so like it's always warm when I'm drunk. Yeah, the cold, you kind of, that's like a weird thing. Like the thing that bothers me, I don't care about the cold as much. It's like the drastic change from like humidity during the summer to like the winter where it just gets like crazy dry. I hate that. That's the part that I hate.
Well, I was gonna say, because even the summer is like crazy humid. So when I was there in the summer, I was like, it's just not. I don't know. It doesn't seem very livable. But hey, it's a beautiful city. That's great. It's Christmas time. It's probably is it snowing? You got any snow this?
We have no snow. It's just, I did see Oprah one time, or it was just another black lady. Could have been either one.
Might have been my
or
mom
you're
visiting,
racist.
I hope people watch the video of this.
Ken is black, if you haven't figured that out.
Yeah, it's fine.
And Andrew's in LA. You're in LA right now.
Yeah, that's why we had to take out all the N-words from the podcast of this episode. But we'll be back to regularly scheduled program next week. So.
Yeah, I was confused when the intro music changed. I was like, what is going on, guys?
Yeah, I'm down in Los Angeles, Calabasas, California. Where Santa visits more than once a year. They film all those Lexus commercials where they, those commercials where the wife comes outside and there's a brand new Lexus in the driveway. They film all those here every single week.
No actors, they just go
just real life stories. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. My brother my brother was living in Santa Monica and having trouble finding a place to buy. He was renting for a little while. And then once the pandemic hit, a lot of really nice houses sort of came on the market for low value. And so he put an offer in on this place, and like 2 days later, like 2 hours later, I guess is the story, was accepted. So it's really, really nice neighborhood. We went for a walk around the neighborhood, and so I was here for Thanksgiving, which was they were just moving in, probably like a couple weeks by then. And my brother was telling me, like, one of his neighbors, he's like, we're walking around the neighborhood, and he goes, I think this guy's a musician, and they're all fancy, like really nice houses. So you're kind of like, I'm sure they all do something crazy.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I think this guy's the drummer in LMFAO, that band. And I was like confused because I was like, I don't think they have a drummer, but maybe there's like behind the scenes guys. I thought it was just two dudes shaking their penises for the camera. But I didn't really think anything of it, and I was like, oh, I guess some drummer dude lives there. And so my brother was like, yeah, I asked him like what he does. He said he's a musician, and I asked if he was like still performing, and he goes, are you like a singer? He goes, I don't really sing. And so I just figured he's like a drummer. I was like, okay. So then Christmas Day, we're walking around, and the cool thing is that this guy has right along the road, there's like a fence with a turkey and a pig and a basket of like vegetables to feed them. So like you can walk through the neighborhood with your kids and be like, let's feed the pig and feed the turkey. So that's like a tradition on our walks now, as we just go feed the pig and stuff.
So they can fatten them up and kill them on Christmas.
So he can kill them for Thanksgiving. And yeah. So we're Christmas Day. We go for a little bike ride. We stop at the top of the hill, and we are feeding this guy's pigs, and all of a sudden the dude comes walking out. Just his house is far away, so it's not like he must have just been out hanging by the fence, and it's the lead singer from LMFAO. It's Red Foo. It's Red Foo. He's got the giant afro, and I would have never. Yeah,
he's right that he doesn't sing.
For sure.
That's accurate.
Girl, look at that body. So it's so funny because I'm sitting there going like, if he would have never said, "Oh, a guy from LMFAO lives over there," I probably would have never put it together.
Right.
With that context clue, I'm like, oh, that's the main guy. I don't know his name or anything, but that looks like the guy.
Then he had to.
But yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. But I'm also like, I could be wrong. I don't know anything. I'm an idiot. But
maybe his twin brother's the drummer. But yeah,
sure. So, but we're hanging out and my brother's like talking to the guy and they're hitting it off and they're being super nice. And I guess they've talked a little bit before. And so he lets us in to like feed the animals and we're all hanging out. My brother's like, so you guys like touring now or what are you doing? And he goes, not really. We're not really a band anymore, but I'm getting into producing more and whatever. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, I think this is the dude or whatever. So we all have a good conversation. My brother like is kind of like asking a girl out where he was like, oh, I should drop off that thing. I don't know how people make friends with their neighbors, but he's like, oh, I should drop off with they're talking about swimming pools. They're like, oh, we got an estimate for a swimming pool. And they're like, oh, like 90 grand. He's like, yeah, it's expensive. And the guy's like, hey, give me his number. I want a swimming pool. I was like, okay. And he goes, should I just write a note or like leave it in your mailbox? And the guy's like, just take my number down. Oh, yeah. Let me get your number. Yeah. And so he's like writing down his number and he goes, and he's just been calling him Foo. That's how he was introduced to him. So he's like, oh, it's Foo, right? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, what's your last name? And he's like, he goes, people call me Red Foo. So you can just type Red Foo or.
So that you witnessed all this.
Yeah. I'm watching this all happen.
And
so
you're like,
I'm just like, oh my God, these guys have no idea. Or I think like maybe he's playing it cool.
Sure.
And,
yeah.
Because it did seem he was like hesitant to be like, hey, give me your number and let's just all be friends. And the guy was like, oh, I bought this house over there like a couple weeks ago because just came available. And I decided to buy a second house in the same neighborhood.
Because it was available.
I was like, this guy has buy a second house for no reason money. So, and he was being super nice. He's like walking us around both properties and going like, oh, this happened, this thing and whatever. Whole life. And he goes, Foo Gordy, that's my real name or whatever, last name.
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay, Foo Gordy. And so we're walking away and I'm like, okay, that's cool. And so we get back to the house and I was like, I was talking to my brother's wife at first and I go, do you have any idea who that guy is? And she's like, no. And I was like trying to sing the song. I'm like, look at that. I work out. And they're like, you're on crack, And I'm like, he did the thing and the party rocking and the
party rock.
Everybody's in the house. And they're like, please don't sing.
That's John. Wait, I don't know.
It is same thing, actually. He was on that song. Yeah.
Okay.
You're right. You're not wrong.
Right.
So,
I'm old, but,
yeah, not that old. So then I'm like talking to my brother. I go, I'll have to show you one of his videos when we get back to the house. And so I pop up my laptop and I pull up YouTube and literally 2 billion views on his music video. And I'm like, oh, wow, Keith. So I play the song. I'm like, this guy has 2 billion views. You have no idea who he is. He's like, not a clue. The song comes on and he's like, oh yeah, I think that it sounds familiar. I remember this kind of thing.
Bro, you couldn't go anywhere without that song playing when it was like you couldn't go to church without that song playing as you're walking.
What's cool is I think he's like he's like not recognizable enough. Like he's got that perfect level of like he's so rich, but no one like walking down the street would be like the guy from that techno group from 10 years ago that was popular, like.
Yeah.
So
that's gold.
So we're watching the videos, and then And he's like, "Oh, click on this." He's like really excited now. He's like, "Click on this one. Click on this one." And so, and then his 3-year-old daughter walks up and is watching the music video, and she's like dancing, and he's like, "Oh, it's actually pretty PG-13 music, you know. They're not swearing or anything." But the music video is, Ron Jeremy and the close up of their dicks and stuff. And so, so for like 30 seconds, we're like, hey, this is okay for the kids to watch. And they're dancing and this is fun. And then it's just a real close up of him in a thong trying to, pound it to the camera. And then my brother's like,
all right,
yeah, we're gonna pause this and let's not ruin their childhood yet. And so then
that's pretty wild,
pretty crazy. So then the next day, my brother goes for a walk again, and the guy is back out hanging out at his house in the front yard or whatever. And so, oh hey, so they start chatting again.
Hey, Fu
and
Manchu.
he goes, Fu Manchu
calls him by the wrong name or whatever.
Yeah. So he goes, dude, my brother told me who you were, and I had no idea. I feel like an idiot. And the guy's like, dude, that's totally fine. I don't care, and it's totally fine. But he goes
it that way, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But he goes like, he kind of comments on that, being like, he goes, I have a pretty good level of fame where like people don't really know me. But he goes, he even like, this is what he told my brother. So this is all kind of secondhand story, but he was like, sometimes at shows I'll just sing the wrong lyrics and nobody even cares. They're like not even there for me, They're just like techno dancing, like, yeah, whatever. This, the guy who sings, as long as you get the hook right, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We don't know the words either, so
everyone, isn't it everybody? Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Yeah.
Who do you think's like the most? I don't know. That's probably not the most famous person you've met, Andrew. But who's like? Do you have any famous people that you've met, Ken? I don't.
Like encounters, just random.
What's comedy, not comedy, anything that you've? I don't know. I mean, I went to. I don't know.
Yeah, I would probably what's his name? The dude that steals all. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, the guy that steals all the jokes. Cory Michaelis. Yeah.
You guys have like millions of views on YouTube and stuff, so easily the most famous. Like not any of the comics that I've ever opened for. I would probably what's the dude's name? George Lopez.
Carlos Mencia, maybe.
Carlos Mencia. Yeah, George, whichever one was stealing jokes. I don't know.
Yeah,
They're both.
That was Mencia.
Oh, Mencia. I see. I didn't hear you say that part.
Yeah.
I don't think he's. I think he is the most famous guy I've met, because like to perform at a Super Bowl show, that's pretty famous. And he's also like, he's the son of Barry Gordy, who was like the famous.
Is that right?
Yeah. Like the famous, he ripped off all those Motown people, right?
Yeah, it was like thief. Thief is the word you're looking for.
that Mulaney joke is a good joke where he.
Oh yeah, excuse me, Mr. Barry Gordy. What do I sign? Yeah.
Wow. Huh. I don't even. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you ask a question because you have a good answer. Also, I got nothing. But I was just curious. What yours was.
Have you met all of your neighbors? Like, are you friends with them?
That's a good question. So I tried to.
Because I don't.
Last Christmas, I tried to give all my neighbors almond roca and some tickets to an Everett comedy night show. Right? It's 8 minutes away is the venue, and I hadn't met these people over here, or maybe I'd met them once. So I just left it on their doorstep. I knew them pretty well, left it on their doorstep. Hadn't met the brand new people. So I was like, all right, this will be my introduction, right? And so I finally am home. They're home. Both their cars are in the driveway. I can see their lights on. Perfect. It's a little dark out. I mean, it's winter, so it's a little dark out, but whatever. So I walk up to their doorstep, and it's so hilarious. These days, you walk up to someone's doorstep, and it's like, bro, what? They get guns out. They're like, "What's going on?"
They're looking through the window.
They
Oh,
saw
look at
me
this
walk
guy.
up. I knocked. I see them. I see
He
them
shuts
watching
all
a
the
movie.
lights off. He goes to a safe room.
I see them watching a movie. Now they had company, which I didn't know at the time, but then I saw the company. So they had their like brother over watching a movie. A dog's barking. I'm knocking. They're just like not gonna answer. And there's like this awkward 45 seconds, and they go, and I knock again. I'm like, I don't know. And they go, or I ring the doorbell because I was like, well, maybe they didn't hear. And they go, yeah, who is it? And I was like, oh, man, this is so. I was like,
No,
it's your
thank
neighbor,
you.
neighbor across the street. My name's
We have enough
Cory.
Girl Scout cookies. Please go away.
You're like, we don't care about Jehovah or anything else.
We're not going to convert to Judaism. Yeah.
So they open the door.
Jehovah's
now
Witness in the
dog-
neighborhood. God damn it.
The dog is like jumping on them, and they're like trying to hold their dog back, and they're like, okay, who are you? And I'm like, I'm Cory. I live across the street. Just wanted to give you a gift for Christmas and introduce myself. Oh, okay. And I don't remember their names. It was also frantic. And then like they have to like crack open the screen door just so they can get the gift. And I'm like, and also I'm a comedian, and there's tickets to go to my
Slam the door in your
show.
face.
I guess.
Hey, it's gonna be a good show. We got Ken Hamlett next week. Where you going, guys?
No, open it. Yeah. And it was like, and I just walked away like, wow, that was just a total fail. And then since then, like, well, there's been some waves and some hellos and some whatever, but like, I can see he gets golf clubs out of his car like frequently, and I'm like, I'm a like we would be friends,
could be friends.
but
Yeah.
we can't because we can't like I can't like go hang out with them right now because of COVID and shit. So it's like, hey, where'd you play today? Oh, I played Legion. I was like, yeah, I played there the other day. Do you want to go? Never mind. I don't want.
Dude, no, that's like the best entry into, like, my wife made me like one of my best friends because she, like, there was a guy moving in. It was one before we bought our house in Tacoma. We lived in these lofts downtown, and he was bringing in golf clubs, and my wife just was like, happened to go past, and she was like, hey, my husband golfs. You guys should meet. And then after that, we just like kicked it off. Like, we were like best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It totally is. Yeah. That's why business meetings are always golfing and shit. Yeah, I got to play when I got to come out to Chicago. We got to play. Do you know now and where you are now? Are you like what, condo, house? Are you on the edges of the city? Are you suburb? What's your...
So we are in a condo in Rogers Park, which is like, we're basically Evanston. We are literally, if you take like the main, like, think Pack Ave, and when you get all the way to like Spanaway area, like, for the people that don't know, I'm basically there, like outside of that. You don't even.
I like how you're like, way to use my government name. Anyway, here's how you get to my house. You take a left at the 7-Eleven, and it's
no,
like
this is Chicago, so I didn't give any of my city's streets, so I don't like. I'm totally safe.
Oh, you go down Pack Ave, right at the end of that, you're gonna see a laundromat. You're gonna take a right.
Yeah. That's his address 1137.
So do you meet your neighbors, or are they all scared of a black man?
Fuck no. I actually live in a super cool area. Like, the biggest part for us when we moved to Chicago, we wanted to be in a diverse neighborhood. So we live in an area that's like just a pocket of like diversity, and then by pocket I mean like one street, and then everything else is white. Like, so like we're in like a little diverse pocket, and then so it's a cool and I'm like driving like 15 minutes away from the Laugh Factory, so
that's great.
I spent a lot of time, like, that was I spent most of my time I was like going to the Laugh Factory. So, and that was like, for me, was just like I wanted to be close enough to the city where I can get to the Laugh Factory and like all the best, but then like I wanted to be away from the city so that like, not raise a kid in the middle of the city.
Right. Well, Chicago. Let's see. I've just done spots at Laugh Factory, Comedy Bar. They maybe like me. I don't know. They've had me. And then Rosemont, when the old GM was there, but she's now moved on somewhere else, and she's in Vegas. Cindy, she's at Brad Garrett's now, GM there. Anyway, and then what's his name? Wayne or Bill or Dale or what's the white guy's name that books
You talking about?
Zany's downtown?
Oh, Brian. Brian is like, well, he's
Oh,
like the new
he's
booker
new.
at
He
Zany's
must be new.
downtown.
The old
Yeah,
guy was
yeah.
old
Like in the
curmudgeon.
last year and a half since I've been here.
Okay. There was
Yeah.
an old curmudgeon before him that.
Got to update your booking sheet.
Oh yeah, well, a year and a half. I mean, I haven't. I did a thing of like I did comedy. I headlined comedy bar one weekend and then stayed the following week to feature at Zany's, and I was just like, hopefully they don't find out, you know.
That's dope.
And the comedy bar didn't care, and nobody that worked at Zany's
And
cared. Like
he did.
nobody that I met cared, but I was like, this Booker guy for sure is gonna care. He's like old school, fucking
Yeah.
crotchety old man. Like he'll definitely care if he finds out. But then he moved on, and some new Brian. All right, well, Brian, I'll have to.
Yeah.
In 2025, I'll reach out to Brian and see if he'll let me
Yeah. When Chicago finally
feature
opens
for-
back up.
Ah, man. Well, Christmas was good for you and your family. Do you guys do that? Do you celebrate that, or are you Jewish? What's happening?
Super Jewish, so Christmas is a weird topic.
Got to do more research on our
Um,
guests.
Yeah, dude, it's all on bio. It's like first black Jewish comedian to move to Chicago from. That's the first sentence. Uh, Christmas is cool. I don't like surprises, and so
Oh,
it's like a
okay.
thing where like my wife has to like. I just gave my wife like a list of things. Well, she's a stay-at-home wife, so it's like me buying my own gifts, but like that sounds really shitty to say that, but like
I make all the money.
I just
you know,
gave
this
her
bitch
this, you know?
is, owes everything
I
to
was
me,
like-
and she'd be nothing without me. So when I say buy
no,
me
for she would
something,
be
She
great,
jumps.
yeah. But I like give a list because one year she fucked up and just got me like shitty gifts that I didn't want, and I was like, I don't like surprises anyways. So I was like, all right, we do list, and for me, I'm really good at gifts, and I pay attention and I listen to things that she wanted, and so she got like we both were super happy this Christmas, but I didn't wait till Christmas. Like I got
What's
a
a
tennis
shitty
bracelet,
gift?
like a diamond tennis. Oh, man.
like a Rubik's Cube.
So this.
Great.
No, it was
I'm
like
gonna
a-
have
it
to
was like a-
research this.
It was like a fake like black diamond necklace, and she was perform. It's good like to have this when you're on.
Turns
I was
your
like,
neck
no,
green.
not me. I was like, nothing about me screams that I would wear this necklace ever.
I
Like,
got you the
I don't want
spinning
this.
piece 50 Cent used to wear, the G Unit thing. Was that fun?
That's funny.
Yeah.
But you now, your gift for her was a tennis bracelet, and she was into it. She liked it.
Yeah,
Why do
because
they
she had
call
mentioned
those-
it. Yeah, like
Why
The
do they
what?
call them tennis bracelets, by the way? What's that all about?
I don't know. I don't. It doesn't. I don't think you would wear one when you're playing
Playing
tennis.
tennis?
Like
Right.
if-
Okay.
When
All right.
you're using your backhand on your wife, that's when you make up for the backhand. You gotta
Yeah.
give her a tennis bracelet.
I see why you're still single, Andrew. I get it.
Not to mention the sores on my penis.
Yeah, this
did they
this
hit-
Christmas was pretty good.
Christmas
No,
is
thanks
good.
for answering the question. That's good. Get around to it.
Anyway, as I was saying, this Christmas was great. Do you guys have like rituals or routines or I don't know. My family every year we watch Christmas Vacation like all white families do, and then we used
I thought it was
to
Christmas
do
Story.
yeah, Christmas Story. But that runs on a loop on like TNT or TBS or something. So yeah, I mean, I guess we catch a little bit of it. But we're Christmas Vacation. That's our thing. And we used to do one grandma's Christmas Eve, the other grandma's Christmas Day, but they're dead. So now there's just no. We did virtual with last night. It was pretty fun. We played bingo and got drunk. I delivered Fireball bottles to my family. I dropped them off at their houses, and then yesterday we did Zoom and we got drunk and it was fun. But yeah,
That's
you
fun.
got anything? You got any movies? You got any like? I mean, I'm always curious what other people do. Foods that are like, oh, we
Oh.
always do this, and this is like,
I'm like the shit. I have traditions. I don't fucking like. I don't care about most traditions. I don't even like.
Yeah.
We don't even open presents on Christmas. Like this year, we literally opened everything before Christmas, and then like my son opened presents. But otherwise, I'm like, I don't even. I used to be like really big into holidays, but my dad was like a drunk and like hated holidays. And so then I was just like, I just rather sleep through like this, just not
So now
not
you
experience
followed in
this.
his
So
footsteps.
I don't
You hate holidays
Sure.
and you're drunk.
for sure. And it's super drunk, and I usually break the Christmas tree in half on Christmas. So I guess that we do have uh, we have-
Like a wish, like a wishbone of a turkey. Like,
yeah,
oh,
like my wife wished she didn't marry me type of thing. Yeah, that's
what about you, Andrew? You get your family have any things you like or like? Hey,
We don't
always
have a lot
do
of
this?
like traditions. We do. I mean, my brother's got kids, so they go kind of all out and presents and like to spoil their kids and they do all the Santa's coming. They the Santa tracker on your phone.
Ah,
We were gonna watch the Santa Claus with Tim Allen, and my brother he just kind of fell asleep in the middle of it. So, but we were trying to see if it was good, like appropriate for the kids. You know, you're just looking for stuff to keep them busy while you can do something else. But I thought it was really funny. I watched the whole thing. Is a good movie. It holds up.
I was gonna
Some
ask. Yeah.
good laughs. And what's funny to me is that there's a scene where he's like gaining all this weight to become Santa Claus, and he looks at the scale, and it's like he's at 190 pounds, and it's like, oh no. It's like shouldn't
Shanta.
shouldn't he
Shanta,
should be
Shanta.
fatter than 190 pounds, and I just
That's
thought
like
that was
I
pretty.
almost weigh that, so I
Yeah.
don't.
I'm about
Yikes.
210, so I think I got Santa beat. Damn it,
You're
I'm
210.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah, 210, solid 210.
80 of that is his dick.
It's mostly dick weight, mostly dick weight.
Calls it an anchor.
Ooh.
That's fun. I don't. Yeah, we don't. Where would we anymore? Not anymore, because you're old and you got your grandma, your parents. Your parents live across the country, Andrew, and
Yeah.
this year obviously was bizarro. And
Yeah,
we, my
FaceTime, a
brother
lot of
and
FaceTiming.
yeah, my brother and my dad and I tried to do like a challenge, like a between Thanksgiving and Christmas, like weight not weight, but like health challenge. You know, we just made our own thing, and I was like, I'm gonna lose 5 inches around my love handle, and then I told people, and they're like, that's impossible in 25 days, and I was like, or 30 days or whatever, and I was like, oh well, I don't. I'm probably not gonna try anyway. So
Like I just have to
Perfect.
declare it. That's all.
I wrote it on my vision board that I never look at, and then didn't do it. No, I lost 2 inches, so that's it's
Good.
not bad, you know.
Baby,
Gained a
it's
half an inch on my
cold
penis,
outside.
and
My parents were they had a funny joke where they said, hey, save our presents for last and then FaceTime us when they're opening our presents. And it was great. They were like, you can FaceTime us because by the time they're in Vermont, so they're like, you guys will be up super early, but it'll be perfect time for us because it'll be 9 a.m. and we'll actually be awake. So they're like, this is the first Christmas we get to sleep in and not have to
Oh,
wake
wow.
up. The kids got up at 2:30 in the morning.
no
and
shit.
then, yeah.
2:30 in the morning.
They're
Wow.
the worst.
How
They're great, but they
Sure.
they send them back to bed. And what happens is I think this is normal, but I mean it just they have trouble getting to sleep except for Christmas Day. They're like, it's 6 p.m. We want to go to bed because they know
Yeah.
it'll be Christmas when they wake up. So now they wake up super early because they went to bed
Gotcha.
early. But but
I don't.
a lot of
Yeah.
times like they want to be like, will you just lay with me until I fall asleep? And then that turns into like It
I've had
seems
some
like
women say
several
that to me
times.
before.
Yeah. Please don't leave just yet, Corey. But
That's just because they don't want him to steal while they're sleeping.
I seen you long enough to get the fingerprints in your. Damn it, you don't have hair samples I can take. But yeah, they and what ends up happening is like one of the adults will fall asleep down there also, and then they wake up at like 4 a.m. in a kid's bed, being like, "Fuck, now my whole sleep rhythm is
schedules
fucked,"
and the whole
and
thing. Yeah.
So
We had a very
so they
now
sent
that
him back to bed, and then they came up at like 7, and then that was more
Alright.
reasonable. Yeah.
I remember being yeah, I don't know, very lucky, I guess, of like we didn't get a lot of gifts or anything, but I remember everything. We were home at a certain time for my grandma's, in bed, sleep. I would get up in the middle of the night and go like kind of like I was such a good like I wouldn't even look. I would just like kind of peek from afar, and they always turned like the dimmer on just the exact amount because that was the clue. That was my clue. Like, oh, he's been here. As he turned the dimmer on, oh, the cookies are gone and the milk's got. Like I knew, and then
Oh
our
wow,
thing
you
was
guys
always
are
like Santa didn't wrap. I don't know. Did Santa wrap your gifts? The gifts from Santa were unwrapped
Oh wow.
and just out, and the gifts from my parents were all wrapped. So when we
interesting.
woke up, Santa gifts were all like, oh, like right away, like, oh my God. And I just assumed that's what everybody did, but I've learned.
Which gifts were better? Did your parents always make sure they had the better gifts than
That's
Santa?
funny. No, they let Santa have the cred. That's funny.
What?
What idiots. That's a good point. I never thought about that.
Santa thinks you're an asshole, but I love you. So
I don't think any
you're
kids.
just-
I don't think any kids listen to this podcast, but hopefully we're not.
well, Corey, just tell your girlfriend to tune in another night.
Yeah. But anyway, so I don't know when
That joke doesn't work
knew.
because Corey dates older women. But
Yeah,
it's
they're
fine.
too old. To,
Tell your
Older
girlfriend's kids to not listen to the podcast. All
There
right,
we
that's fine.
I don't know when I knew. I would say like 11 years old, maybe 10.
Yeah.
don't
I was trying to
Yeah.
think about it because
10
my
or
brother was
11?
like, yeah,
Is that old or young to you?
I have no idea.
That's old as fuck, dude.
Oh, really?
That's like way
Corey
too
was
old.
a slow developer for sure. but,
Everything has been late in my life. I didn't have sex till I was 22. I just learned about.
When'd you get your first period?
Weed last week. Yeah, period. I mean, I have I got a.
Oh boy. You got to tune into the Patreon for that.
Tune in the Patreon for that last little bit.
Is that the mid-level
Is 10
donation
late?
to see that?
Yeah,
10 is
Yeah,
late,
you got to
dude.
get the second tier.
Is it like fourth grade? 10's like fourth grade, third grade, fourth grade. I don't
For
know.
sure.
Do you guys
I
remember?
don't think
you
there
have
was
a kid
ever a
now.
moment where I yeah.
How old's your kid?
He's 2 and
Does
he doesn't
know?
believe in Santa.
Does he-
Yo, Santa's bullshit. I got you those gifts. You better pay attention to me.
He sat me down and he was like, "Hey dad, I'm too old for this shit. All right, don't just kick it to me straight, man." I was
Yeah.
like, "All right, dude. That is not really right, man."
That's funny.
Now, what are we going to do about the injustices against our people in this country? Oh, man, you are really old, advanced for your age. It's crazy.
Yeah. I got him a bean pie and a Scully for his second birthday. So-
Michael Jordan jersey. This should say Black Lives Matter on the back of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's funny. That's great. That's funny. That's good. Hope you didn't get him a bag of Skittles.
Huh.
No, too that didn't work for you. All right.
I didn't.
I would
I'm out. Just kidding. That's fun. I don't know.
Ken just was like, I don't even want to
No.
acknowledge that.
my internet connection's going out, guys. I gotta
yeah.
You were supposed to leave during the monologue, not during the actual part where we try to interact.
Well,
and,
we waited this
learn
long
about
to get racist, so that's what happens. Corey.
Fair enough.
which is also a new record for you guys. Congrats.
It was so hard. Just can't believe we made it.
Man.
I don't remember. I do remember Santa being like, at a certain point, he stopped wanting to like wrap presents and deal with that. So he would just be like, here's a plane ticket to Hawaii. And we're like, oh, fucking cool. Like we'd come out and there'd be like nothing. There'd be like a little bit of stuff. And then he'd be like, guess that's it this year. And then he'd be like, oh, wait, what's this envelope say? And it's a note. And you used to have to print out your plane tickets back then. That's crazy. So it'd be like fucking plane ticket and be like, holy shit.
Wow. Huh.
So we had like a Christmas tradition of like going to Hawaii. And actually what's funny, I forgot about this kind of to bring it up, but last one year we were in Hawaii and we were just listening to the radio and the guy started playing one of my dad's songs on the radio while we're in Hawaii. And so my dad was like, what the, and he had to Google, I think, where the radio station was. And so they just drove to the radio station, was like, hey, you're playing my music. And the guy was like, dude, come on in, hang out. And so he just went on the air in Honolulu. And
I'm the lead singer of LMFAO.
Yeah.
Your dad abandoned for your Christmas vacation? Like that?
Yeah. That's like, I mean, yeah, if I was on a vacation and someone was like, hey, you're a comedian, I got a gig, I'd be like, fucking see you later.
Peace.
Gotta do some stand-up.
This might be I wouldn't say funny, but I still get gifts from my ex-wife's mom for my birthday and for Christmas. And their love language is giving, which works out great for me. And
wish my ex-wife would have been a giver.
Wish she would have been a giver.
She is a taker, half my stuff. Write that shit
Her
down.
love language was taking half my stuff. Yeah, that's fun.
There you go.
And somebody else's dick. So
actually,
that's true. Spot on.
Accurate. So she texted me on Christmas Eve, or no, a few days before Christmas. She's like, "Hey, I still have your gift for your birthday because we weren't able to like see them the last 6 months." And she goes, "And now it's coming up on Christmas, and so I got your gift for Christmas." And she goes, "This is probably really tacky, but I'm just gonna PayPal you all the money." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds great," but and I was like, "Yeah, that's fine, but." I mean, hopefully I don't know, just hang on to it and we'll see each other and it'll be fine and it'll be a few months and we'll get the back, whatever I said. And she goes, and I go, hey, so this is how fun she is. I go, we're doing Zoom Christmas with my family. We're going to play bingo and drink. And she goes, oh, strip bingo? And I was like, this lady's crazy. She's awesome. And I go, well, it's on Zoom, so we probably won't have pants on, ha ha ha. And then a few hours later, I got a PayPal notification for $600. So
this is your tip for later.
You're a prostitute, dude.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I.
That's what I got from my parents. They just sent $1,000, and I was like, that works better than anything. My parents gave me like a juggling set one Christmas. I was like, what the fuck? What makes you think I even would be able to learn this?
This
is why I have a list system now, dude.
You should incorporate other things. That's why you have a list. Yeah. As a bald white guy, I don't like making lists. Just feel like
boy. I worked at a Christmas tree farm every Christmas.
Oh, really?
Once I was in high school, I was in as a Boy Scout kind of a troop, and we funded our trips every year by selling Christmas trees. And so every Thanksgiving, actually starting in October, we would have to like cut all these trees, and they child labor, but it was a nonprofit, and all the money we buy snowmobiles and we go camping and we do all this cool shit. And, that was pretty fun. But that was the first year I got caught shoplifting. It's right across. It used to be in Bellevue, right across from a Sears, and we would just walk over there, and we were like working at this tree lot, and I was like, oh, I could use like a knife or whatever, So I just stole a knife, and then I was like, I'm really good at that. I thought I was really smooth, and so I just started stealing stuff all the time.
What was
And,
your method? Did you like slide it into your sleeve? Did you
Yeah,
just
100%. That's it. I thought that was unique to me, but that's pretty common, I guess.
He immediately guessed it.
yeah. Oh, it's the first one you would do. Yeah, I would take it
a
and kind
rookie
of walk
move,
around
rookie
with it.
move.
Yeah, and then I
Put it in your
just
sock,
ever so
fella.
slowly, I'd be,
You gotta
lifting
stick
it
it
up
up your
there.
butt.
They also had an elevator one time. We went in an elevator and took the floor up, and then stuffed it in. And
Oh, that's not bad.
my buddy at the time, we're not friends anymore, but he went into the bathroom and like tried to open a thing up, and then he was like, people are walking in, I'm sure they heard me. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking plastic, you gotta rip it. But
You
then we
stole
got
something
caught.
out of plastic, like
He
a
had to
Not
plastic.
me. Yeah, this guy. Yeah.
He had to steal scissors also.
Yeah,
to-
he had to borrow my knife, so I had to go
Got the
steal it so
your
he could.
knife, yeah.
But
That's fun
yeah,
that
and
you
then I
worked-
threw mine in the woods because the other kids got caught, and I was like, they're gonna tell on me, and so I just threw it in the woods. And then they were like, well, go in the woods and find it, and I was like, well, fuck that. And I was like, I should have just held on to it, But
That's cool. You worked for a nonprofit, and we still do. We still work for a
hey.
nonprofit.
And I'm
ourselves.
not profitable, so
Scott Lossie. Oh, there's someone we should have on the podcast.
absolutely.
Ken, you've been great, but we should have had Scott.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of a funnier comedian we haven't talked to.
So funny. Well, shit. I mean, we kind of talked about all the things. Unless you guys got something else. You have a pretty dope podcast yourself, though, Ken, that I was on. It was really fun. What's it called again?
It's called a Drunken Night Out. Actually, both of you guys were on it. Andrew
Yeah.
was like I want to say Andrew was the first episode ever. Actually, when I went to a
Really?
Drunken Night Out, you were one of the first 5 episodes. We recorded in like Portland.
Yeah.
On your
remember that.
way, I think you were doing Cap City. I think, yeah.
No, I was.
Um,
I was
yeah.
doing. That was on my way to find out I wasn't on a TV show anymore.
Yeah, we
Great story.
we had a conversation.
The whole conversation, I'm like, and
I-
this and all this hard work, and it's all paid off, and I'm on my way, and I'm gonna be a big star, and then they're like, a new phone, who dis? And I was like, hello, Hollywood.
Like, hey, Ken, can you erase all of that?
Oh yeah,
podcast?
take all that stuff out. That's
Oh, my
actually not.
God.
That's actually funny. That's not the only. I didn't ask you to take anything out, but
Yeah.
I filmed a thing with my buddy Steve Hofstetter, and he introed me by being like, Andrew's down in LA shooting a TV show, and then I was like, hey, can you take that out? Because that didn't happen. And he's like, no one will know. We didn't mention anything by name. I was like, yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's embarrassing
There's
to
a
me.
chance that someone might be. Yeah.
Well, I just feel like an idiot being like, oh, what TV show? It's a tiny thing. It didn't work out. I got cut.
It was on Nat Geo
Yeah,
2, actually.
I just say it was on Comedy Central because no one will watch
Geo
it
the
anyway.
Ocho.
Ocho.
Nat Geo the Ocho. That's fun. Well, the Drunken Night Out is very fun and great name.
What's
of
your Zoom
podcast.
show you're doing too? We did that Zoom show, right? Are you still doing that? Ken?
We're not doing any of the other
Yep,
shows.
we'll delete this
anymore.
part of the podcast. All right.
If you could just take that part out of there.
That's gonna be your intro. Hey, remember that show? Yeah, I don't do that anymore. Please
How do
welcome.
we-
Yeah. No, I was doing a lot of different shows. I was doing Triple Threat was a show that me and a couple other people created. And then me and Josh did a show, which Josh Firestein was the creator of the show. I was just the host, co-host on it. And that show was called Party Time. Super fun show. If it ever comes back out, y'all should check that out. And then A Drunken Night Out is the thing that I've been doing consistently.
Is there
for-
anywhere they can find
I
the
travel that shit
archive?
Yeah, go on the Big Laugh Comedy Network, either on the YouTube page and then on Facebook. You can check that out there. So
Beautiful.
Fun stuff.
Well, Ken Hamlett, 2 T's. Find him on all the things. I'm at Cory Michaelis Comedy on all the things. Andrew is Andrew J. Rivers on all the things. Thanks for letting us homeschool you. See you next week. Bye.